Welcome to today's video, where we will be discussing the highly acclaimed book, The Art of Thinking Clearly. This book, written by Rolf Dobelli, offers valuable insights into the art of making better decisions and avoiding common thinking errors. In The Art of Thinking Clearly, Dobelli explores various cognitive biases and logical fallacies that often cloud our judgment. By understanding these biases, we can become more aware of our own thinking patterns and make more rational decisions in our personal and professional lives. Here are some best ideas in The Art of Thinking Clearly book summary. 1. You have less control than you think. The illusion of control can be an appealing idea because it offers us some hope. We tend to think that if we believe in our ability, then this will reduce the suffering found throughout life's experiences. However, there are many factors outside our direct influence we should consider when making decisions rather than solely relying on wishes for success. The key is to be critical of our predictions and to focus our energy on things we truly can influence. 2. Abandon the irrational. Rolf Dobelli shares that we can all make huge leaps by abandoning irrationality. There is no need for fancy gadgets, cunning, new ideas or frantic hyperactivity, simply a stronger adherence to what's rational. By being more rational and thoughtful, we can avoid all the pitfalls of cognitive errors that come about from our faulty human brains. Evolution has trained our brains to think in ways that are no longer useful in a modern world. It is vital we all learn to understand these flaws in our thinking and to combat them with a more rational approach. 3. We tend to follow what the group does to prevent ourselves from being excluded. Groupthink refers to social proof when people are less likely to speak up during a meeting because they don't want to disrupt unity. The more everyone else is doing something similar, following the group without hesitation, the less we think independently or say anything that might disagree with the group's unity. Social groups can negatively impact our ability for critical thinking and lead us into dangerous situations if left unchecked. 4. Don't judge decisions by their outcomes. Judge your decisions on their merits. Sometimes you may make the right decision, but things still won't work out. This doesn't mean you were wrong. On the other hand, just because something worked out didn't mean the right decision was made. There may be any number of factors that contributed to the success of your day or a project you have been working on. Don't try to break down every single event into basic cause and effect. All events in life are complex and multifaceted. 5. Avoid false values. Humans are not very good at accurately valuing things. We are fooled by the appearance of scarcity, by competition, and by sentimental implications, among other problems. It is important to be aware of what something is actually worth and not just what it appears to be worth. A good example is property auctions. Many times people pay more than the value of an item because the price is driven up by competition and a desire to win. Just because someone else is willing to spend big does not mean that the item is any more valuable. 6. Admit your limitations. Dobelli encourages living within your circle of competence. This means understanding that you are not an expert on everything. You have a circle of your own expertise where you will know best. He reminds you that this circle may be a lot smaller than you expect. Once you understand your circle of competence, you will be clearer on the areas where your intuition will serve you best. 7. We tend to be fixated on the fascinating. We are more apt to listen and believe an unusual event with a story than listening to abstract details. This is why the media is much more focused on entertaining narratives than simply providing facts. This is also why doctors are taught not to be seduced by thinking that symptoms might be caused by some exotic disease, and instead always investigate the most likely ailments first. 8. Hold on to intuition. As we have seen with the circle of competence, there are times when you can resort to your intuition. Spending too much time on inconsequential decisions is more irrational than thinking them through. If a problem or decision is serious and may have significant consequences, this is the time to pull out your rational toolkit and work through the problem. If it is a small decision with little consequence, use your intuition and make a decision. For example, there is no need to spend 30 minutes assessing whether to order lasagna or bolognese. Choose the one you feel like and dedicate your time to more consequential matters. 9. We interpret information to fit with our self-image and beliefs. If you've ever been convinced of something even after being presented with contradictory evidence, then there's a good chance that your brain has cooked up some faulty data to support its own belief system. This phenomenon is called confirmation bias, and it means we're much easier at confirming information that aligns with our values, self-image, and beliefs, which can be damaging when trying to evaluate something objectively. This doesn't mean we should ignore our evaluations, but to also check other sources and keep an eye out against any possible mistakes before jumping to conclusions. 10. Via Negativa. When Michelangelo was asked how he created his famous statue of David so perfectly, he replied, "It's simple. I removed everything that is not David." Rolf Dobelli advises you use this same technique, known as via negativa, or remove the negative. He writes, "We cannot say what brings us success. We can pin down only what blocks or obliterates success. We should strive to remove obstacles so we can find our way. Cut away all that is unnecessary and counterproductive and you will discover the best path to your goal." In other words, eliminate the negative so the positive can be revealed. Here are 3 action steps to help in achieving more rational thinking. From Rolf Dobelli. 1. Be rational. Make sure you are aware of the many ways that our brains let us down. Whenever you have a major decision to make, step back and walk it through rationally. Check that you aren't falling for any of the traps set by our own minds. 2. Know your limitations. Knowing your circle of competence will let you know how much you know. You are not an expert on everything, no one is. When you are inside your circle of competence, you may be able to make more intuitive decisions based on your comprehensive knowledge. 3. Know when to use your intuition. Part of being rational is also knowing when to relax. Spending 30 minutes deciding which jumper to wear is not a sensible use of your time. Understanding when the consequences merit deep consideration or snap decision is key to thinking clearly. Conclusion. The Art of Thinking Clearly is a thought-provoking book that encourages readers to become more mindful of their own thought processes. By applying the principles outlined in this book, we can enhance our decision-making skills and lead more fulfilling lives. This is the end of the video. Please like and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates.